Welcome to the bold analysis. The outrageous statement by Moses Masika Wetangula, the Speaker of the National Assembly, that the silence of Uhuru Kenyatta during this time the country is going through troubles is actually a conspiracy towards something that Wetangula says only Uhuru Kenyatta knows. But interestingly, why would President Ruto attribute the collapse of Kenya Kwanza administration to a former president who does not wield even influence in that administration? I want us to look at that in details, and I'm going to demonstrate to you why Uhuru Kenyatta's name at this moment is being dragged in the political equation. But just before that, I want to remind you about baby Willis that we are supporting. The 8-year-old boy, as you can see there, has a rare condition. Currently is admitted in Eldoret Referral Hospital in need of urgent medical attention. What started as a hernia developed, affected one of the testes. Several tests were done, and a procedure was done in another hospital in Bungoma that did not go successful. And of course, they were not able to address the situation. So as I'm talking to you, that boy is in a big distress because what the doctors have established, and I spoke with one of the doctors yesterday who is in charge of, who is taking care of him, ni kwamba he has a mass in the stomach, and that is why unaona hiyo tumbo imefura hivyo. So there are urgent tests that needs to be done so that he can be taken through an operation to remove the tumor or that mass in the body. This has brought complications, breathing complications to him, pain during short calls, stomach and leg swellings. So that's why I'm reaching out to you guys. I'm urgently sending my team members to Eldoret tomorrow so that they can take care of, they can actually arrest this situation. One thing I've been told is if this is handled in time, we will be able to support this family. So we are targeting around 200,000. We started last evening. Of course, last night, I already have 42,000. I believe kidogo kidogo hujaza kibaba. And my feeling is if we can be able to finish this appeal probably on Thursday, so that tomorrow as I would stand to them, they will give us the real feedback, then we can see what needs to be done. I know this is a situation that we really need a lot, but we also believe that if we pay that, if we also manage to pay SHA and also the cash that will remain, pia itaweza kuwasaidia so that, because even if it is an operation, SHA does not cover all of it. There is some part, because it's a chronic illness, some part will have to be taken care of by the family. So I want us to support so that we can rescue Willis. I've been told the chances of survival are there. And I believe that if we stand in solidarity with this boy, of course, it is possible. Now, listening to this outrageous call from Wetangula, you might, this is what Wetangula is saying.
Now, wanatafuta nani? Wanatafuta Uhuru. Inakaa the broad-based government, vile Raila aliingia, he's of no help to these people. Papa wa Roma, Mr. Wetangula, anasema, he terms Uhuru's silence as a conspiracy and he should step in when the country is facing challenges. He is the only living retired president and should act as a chief elder statesman. Sometime back during campaign about 2019, alisema, the other day he came to address the nation with bloodshot eyes and we realized he has lost his bearing. This was Wetangula to Uhuru. Now I'm asking Wetangula, why do you want someone with bloodshot red eyes who has lost his bearing to step in when the nation is facing challenges? Another thing he also said some time back, stay away from politics and behave responsibly. And then today you're being used as a proxy and or even as a prop by Ruto to now beg for Uhuru's help. But mbona munataka si Kikuyus wamekuwa wakishikilia kiti sana. They can't live without the presidency seat. Watu wa Murima, why do you need their help? Why do you need their help, Bwana Wetangula? Don't you think it's time you also respect yourself? In conclusion, this regime is incapable of leading this great nation of Kenya and the great people of Kenya. Hata mimi mnitafute, I will say no. Hapana, never. Now you're wondering how they used to do it, right? And this is actually not Wetangula talking. This is Ruto talking. He is not happy with the ODM coalition and bringing Raila on board. Now he's desperate to have Uhuru back. But who you see ule mlevi mlikuwa mnatukana kila siku? Anyway, salam guys.
I don't know. Some quick question is this. What would Wetangula, and I think Wetangula is the mouthpiece of the president in this context, in this situation, what would Uhuru have to do with this situation? I agree. I saw a comment last night, and someone was actually saying in the comment section, one of our videos last night, that, Kevin, the problem is not Uhuru, the problem is not Raila, the problem is broad-based, not broad-based. Our issue is what is not working. There's a question of SHA. We are shouting aloud about how it's working here, but in real sense, outpatient wanateseka. Hospitals are still owed billions. Did Uhuru Kenyatta introduce SHA? We are talking about education, free secondary and primary education. The government is saying they cannot manage capitation. President is saying I've built 23,000 schools. I was just showing you a video of the deplorable conditions of schools in Tharaka Nithi. Some 6 primary schools in Tharaka Nithi. Does that have to do? Did Uhuru Kenyatta introduce education funding model? No. And you can name them. So what is not working in this country? If you talk about affordable housing, where people are complaining that their pay slips are being drained, did that have to do with Uhuru Kenyatta, or because that is the focus? Now, if someone wants to create conjectures of Uhuru this, Uhuru that, probably that is a diversion from the real issue. And maybe at this point, let me remind Wetangula, because the internet never forgets. This is a video of actually Wetangula asking Uhuru Kenyatta to stay away from politics.
Mr. President, I want to advise you. This misadventure you are undertaking is dangerous to the country and to you. This misadventure of wanting to determine who becomes the next president as an outgoing president is dangerous for the country and to you. This misadventure of wanting to calibrate already failed projects and think that you will be able to impose them on Kenyans is dangerous for the country and to you. And I want to assure you, Mr. President, don't you worry. You will be accorded the best respect a retired president deserves. You will get your pension, you will get your security, you will get your respect. Hata serikali yetu itakurecommend kuenja kufanya kazi kwa AU na Commonwealth ile retired presidents wanafanya. Ya kwenda kuangalia mambo ya kupiga kura kama observer na kuzima maafa kule inatokea. So leave Kenyans alone to make their choice, to decide who their next president should be.
Yes. he was actually asking to stay away from politics. This was some few days to the general election. This is a man who everyone in Kenya Kwanza was saying, you need to retire peacefully. Don't tell us who we vote for. Just leave us. You know, but I'm going to tell you the issue. Uhuru has been making rare appearances. I think the recent ones is these two instances. One, last weekend when he was at Ngong Racecourse to celebrate the champions of 2024-2025 season, which was on some racing event, which featured the thrilling final race of the season, marking a memorable close to the racing calendar. And he was in Ngong Racecourse, didn't make political statements. In fact, I can't remember when last Uhuru Kenyatta made a political. I think after the appearance in Embu, December. And then Uhuru Kenyatta, President Ruto going to visit him in Ichaweru. I don't remember when last Uhuru made another political appearance. He's been playing low-key. And I think, yeah, dragging him in this context, in this situation, is just last kick of a dying horse. The recent one is also, lately, he also hosted British High Commissioner to Kenya, Neil Wigan, who paid him a courtesy visit at his residence. Now, I don't know, are these meetings really unsettling President Ruto and his team? Because if you check around, that is the only thing. Let me tell you, just to show you that Uhuru raid is on high gear, and this seems to be a highly coordinated thing now. Today, Nation had this headline, and I tried to look for that story. I wanted the merit of the story, and I want to show you what is happening there. This is a story about Expressway, and according to Nation, is that Uhuru Kenyatta did with the contractor, and he was a principal beneficiary of that road, of that expressway that was built, and according to him, there was this and that. Now, this is what the writers, the Nation editors are saying. I just wanted to look at that so that, maybe spend the propaganda. I want us to get the real thing. I want us to get the real thing. Hapa politics ni reality, si kusugarcoat hapa. There is a company registered by some lady here known as Rose Wamaitha. He was the sole owner of a company known as Edgeworth Properties. Back then in 2019 then. Edgeworth Properties gave its land to Kel Infrastructure Company. So the Kel Infrastructure is the company which was building Expressway. So Edgeworth was registered, then it gave its land to Kel Infrastructure, and this land, two activities was to be done there. Number one, the land that was given to Kel Infrastructure was for them to extract sand that was being used for Expressway, to build the Expressway. Number two, it was also a place where the contractor who was building Expressway would deposit the building materials, zile structures, na zile vitu walikuwa wanatumia, the cement and all that. That is the contribution, that was the deal between Edgeworth Company and Kel Infrastructure. Kel Infrastructure, which built Expressway, injected 88 billion. And the deal, which was through PPP, was that they are going to scoop back their money from the 27-kilometer expressway through the toll. So this is a deal that mtu ameweka pesa yake, amejenga barabara, that barabara is going to be charged, then he ata scoop back his money. So the question was, where did Wanjiku lose his money? And I'm not disputing the fact that there could be some monkey business here. But I just want you to look at what the writer is saying. Blocking government officials. A tax dispute has now revealed that Mrs. Ngote is that Wamaita, and Robert Trust. This is another company yenye ilipeana shares zake kwa ile Wamaita, were all along proxies of Mr. Kenyatta's family at a time the sitting president was vocal about blocking government officials and their close kin from enrichment through public policies. Proxies. Now, get this part. The nation could not establish the exact amount of money that Kenyatta family earned from the sand deal or specific quantities of the construction materials extracted from the land. Sasa, you see how that story is blowing, just it's just patching headline and creating. And I look at, someone just went and picked the files, then patched a story together so that you can get the name of Uhuru Kenyatta in the headline, of course, with some corruption allegation there, while you can't really show how much of taxpayers' money, how much of money left treasury for this deal, and how the people of Kenya lost. I am not defending Uhuru Kenyatta regime that there was no monkey business here. But what I'm simply saying is the story lacks the substance to substantiate the claim. And that tells you that while someone might have had some 5% of evidence on this, but the story is based on a ground that cannot be established by that editor. Now, let me tell you, Wetangula has been dispatched to raid Uhuru Kenyatta, and this is William Ruto's political scheme. Wetangula is acting on briefs from President himself. I agree with Rigathi, who once said, who can interfere with the former president without the nod of the sitting president? This is the issue here. William Ruto is quoting Kalonzo Musyoka to be his running mate in 2027. And the opposition camp is infiltrated. I will analyze more about that. I'm going to show you about that infiltration. So, what's actually happening here is this. William Ruto understands very well that the stumbling block is Kalonzo Musyoka. Let me tell you, were it not for Uhuru Kenyatta and Gideon Moi in 2022, Kalonzo Musyoka would have crossed to Kenya Kwanza. I remember even at the day they were going to announce the running mate in KCC, Gideon Moi had to be dispatched to Karen residence just to hang around Kalonzo so that Kalonzo does not change his mind. In the opposition camp, William Ruto has marked Kalonzo as one of the preferred candidates to be his running mate in 2027. And he understands that Uhuru Kenyatta is the stumbling block. That is why Kalonzo Musyoka is talking about Uhuru's silence is a sense of conspiracy. Now, if he's talking, you say he needs to keep quiet. If he speaks, you say, if he goes also quiet, you say he's doing something silently. Okay, so what should the son of Mama Ngina do? And to hear is just to bandit names, patching names, to just divert the attention. The second factor I'm seeing here is this. The reports that Raila Odinga, that there were a clique of leaders from Mount Kenya who are vouching for Raila Odinga to launch his presidential bid for 2027. And according to the President Ruto, probably here is they think the force for Raila Odinga to launch his bid could be Uhuru Kenyatta. And William Ruto knows very well. If opposition holds firm, they produce one candidate, then Raila is on ballot, then William Ruto is probably going to be number 3. So even in terms of Raila, he might not be very relevant. If Raila goes to the ballot, opposition holds firm, and Ruto goes to the ballot, of course, he will have to go to seek re-election, then he will probably be at distance number 3. In that equation, we can analyze that sometime, but take that. It is very clear. The person holding the president is Raila Odinga. The other issue here is, I see someone asked me today, and guys, as we analyze, you can tell me, who organized Rigathi Gachagwa's tour in the United States? Who gave him all that network that when he was a deputy president, he didn't ever make such a trip? He didn't, even when he was vying, even when he was a deputy, when he was a running mate, he never made such a trip. And some people feel that Uhuru Kenyatta is also supporting, is also funding Rigathi Gachagua. So it all has to do with the politics. And they believe that probably in his silence, he's funding political activities. And lastly, maybe it is a plan to link him to the Gen Z revolt. Remember, I saw another move for Nane Nane, that there could be another protest coming on 8th of August. It will be interesting to see how it runs. Thank you.